Hey, it's Bone Crusher once again, an origin story. 7 questions in 7 seconds. Today, tonight, this evening on planet Earth, I got a good friend of mine stopping by. One of the best to ever do it, one of the foundational players. I say that a lot because everyone in these stories are essential to the Atlanta sound. And this guy is no exception to that. A good friend of mine from the Oomp Camp, DJ Jelly, is stepping in to share some of his excellent ideas and sounds and memories of Atlanta. Make sure you stay locked in. This is going to be outstanding. It's going to be fun, too. Hey, it's Bone Crusher. Once again, it's evening time, morning time, summertime, winter time, earthly time. And we're here, 7 questions and 7 seconds, an origin story with an ATL great. And today, I got one of the best to ever do it, one of the foundational players of the Atlanta sound, a good friend of mine. You know, we've adopted him.
Yeah.
Right. From the west side now. You know, you're a west side man now. DJ Jelly's in the building. Make some noise for DJ Jelly, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up?
So, let's start with the question. First question.
Yes, sir.
Tell the humans your origin and where it all started for you and your love for music.
Man, I'm a Midwest boy originally.
Right.
St. Louis.
Right.
U City. Shouts out to Nelly and all the lunatics out there.
Right.
Bobby Brown was building a house. This is late 80s.
Right.
And it was time for me to get up out of high school. And I was like, well, I see that in Essence Magazine. He building his home that's worth gazillion dollars. That's where I need to go.
That's
and
right.
It was a wrap. I was
That's
I found a way to get to finesse my way to the A. I was like, I got to go. It had to do with that article.
Wow.
That's it. Nothing else. I didn't hear about nothing else but that article.
Wow. So that's where it began for your love for music, just looking at the article and just...
Well, I would say, let me back. I'm saying that's my love for Atlanta.
Right.
My love of music, since I was a baby, it's just I've been around aunties and uncles playing Isley Brothers and War and all that. So,
right.
And, coming from the Midwest, hearing Fleetwood Mac and hearing all this different stuff,
Right.
Jethro Tull, whatever.
Why not?
So, hey, I love music. I always been the thing about me is I'm a fan of music first, more before anything. DJ, anything. I'm a fan of music.
Right. And that's what it all started for everybody, Anybody that's in this business, they all start from their first love of music, right? I always call her my first girlfriend, that's my first lady.
I like that.
I fell in love with music.
I like that one.
Right. That's the one, man. So, second question. Where did your love for DJing start?
That started, of course, with hip hop. In the 80s, I used to break dance, all that spray paint. I'm a visual artist, so I love hip hop, period.
Right.
And, my boys, we used to throw little parties in the basement, and they was doing their thing. And shouts out to Cut Master K, one of the OGs from St. Louis.
Right.
I always listen to him mixing. And I was like, you know what? I'm break dancing. I could spray. I could do all that, but I could do that.
Right.
I was like, he doing it, I'm gonna do that too.
Right.
Why not? I'm gonna try it.
That's
and
right.
then from there, I just fell in love because I was already in the music. So just now I'm taking and manipulating the music, and it's just I was like, damn, this is tight.
So what turntables did you start with? Belt drive,
belt drive, and then some of the other stuff. I put the pencils in some of the other turntables too. The little Fisher Price stuff. I messed around with them when I was a kid, just messing with it.
Right.
I've always messed with electronic stuff. So that was one I used to tear up everything. So all that just came together as years, as the older I got in my teens and hip hop. So
I remember I was a young guy. I would DJ, right? And I was very fortunate that my stepfather he was a DJ at a club.
Okay.
And I fell in love with hip hop, period, from the 80s. But my first introduction to turntables on 1200s. So I was
you came right to it.
Yeah, I started on
like Killer Mike coming on that Outkast song getting the Grammy.
Right, winning the Grammy, right? So I started on the turntables on 1200s.
That's tight.
And that was my love for just trying to figure out grooves and sounds, and I think the fact that I rap the way I rap and perform the way I perform has a lot to do with me starting as a DJ over a rapper, man. And I told Smurf in the early interview that he's the reason why I'm a rapper, really, because he was like, yo, you sound like this and that. You sound like Heavy D, man. I think your style be better. You be a better rapper than a DJ. And I was like,
wow,
man, you know what?
Get out of here.
Yeah, and I was like, man, you know what? He might be right. Yeah. So that was the beginning of my rap career, if you will.
Okay.
Well, career, you know, like Greg Street said, you don't in a career till you get a check. But my first introduction to the love of hip hop and being an MC, if you will. So my third question for you is,
yes, sir.
Now you in Atlanta.
Yep.
Right? You enjoying the Southern charm. You're enjoying the hospitality. How did you meet Big Oomp and MC Assault?
Well, I actually met MC Assault first. So that was we talk about early 90s.
Right.
I met him through a mutual friend of ours, Freddie B, who was like the head producer of Top Quality, the whole Big Oomp sound.
Right.
I met him on Martyr.
Wow.
He saw me. I was carrying one of my boys' R8 drum machines. And he was like, man, you know how to use that? And I was like, no, but I'll say, I'm trying to learn it.
Right.
And then we got to talking. He was like, man, I got a partner, MC Assault. He need a DJ, blah, blah, blah. Like, all right, cool. Let's put it together.
Right.
I got with MC Assault. We started making tapes. Shouts out to Starvin Marvin. We just started making them tapes. He's like, man, I want to kill Edward J and them. I just want to put them out of the business. I was like, all right, cool. But I just love the DJ. And at the same time, I was working in Magic City. So it was just a good vibe going on. Right. I was like, cool, let's go.
Right. You know what's so crazy? Edward J at that time was God.
Absolutely.
I mean, he still is.
Yeah.
But
all respect.
All respect. But like it's like that type of healthy competition is what's necessary, right?
Yeah.
So my fourth question for you, let's talk about those mixtapes and the culture with the down south bounce tapes in particular, right? What made you think of that genius idea? Was it you? Was it MC Assault? Was it was it?
It was really a combination of MC Assault and me. You know, MC Assault obviously was the brainchild of our whole movement.
Right.
The mixtapes, the record label, all of it.
Right.
And we basically just all fell in. It was me, MC Assault, and Oomp, obviously.
Right.
And that was just, he was like, man, not only taking Edward J position, but we wanted to create something of a production.
Right.
Because he was more, Assault wanted to do the record thing. So the vibe of the mixtapes became a production.
Right.
More so. We were doing mashups before they were called mashups. So we were creating audio possibilities of whether it was R&B with the bounce beat or whatever. We combined all the different musical cultures and put them into a tape. Of course, with the South as the forefront of it.
Right.
So we would combine all the music.
So Oomp was the forefront of that type of putting that type of sound out with you.
Well, that's what we ended up creating. The production became the production from the mixtapes.
Got you.
And we created our sound because we took from Memphis, obviously, and from the West Coast.
Right.
And then we created that whole Oomp Camp sound.
Right.
Assault, shouts out to Freddie B again. They just
yeah.
really start putting that sound using certain things, and it became a signature sound for the label.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Because I remember, man, when I first heard them tapes, I was like, man, who is this dude, Jelly, man? Yo, he is dope, man. And I thought you was from here.
Right.
So I was like, man, Jelly is dope, man. He's like, man, who is this dude, right? I didn't know who you were.
Right.
And I was like, I wonder what school he went to, because we all family.
Right.
So it doesn't matter, Organized Noise, Black Market, everybody.
I used to come over there around the corner from MLK and mess with y'all.
Yeah.
I used to be around there. Yeah.
Yeah, the hardware house. Yeah, the Black Market house. And because you guys stay right around the corner.
Absolutely.
And that's crazy. Dang, man. And the thing about it was to our love of it, right? We were always family. There was no this camp against that camp for it was always healthy competition. So we see each other, it was always like, yo, what's up, man? Man, I hear Baby D, boy, he killing it, whatever. So it became this synergy that created the sound for the city. So my next question, number 5. You've been a force as a mix show DJ for years on Atlanta radio. We're going to fast forward a little bit.
Absolutely.
How hard would you say it was for you to do both production and DJing and be able to juggle both of those so seamlessly?
Is man, all I can say is God, and it's been a blessing. You know that all of it works together.
Right.
You know, of course, you know I had situations where, oh, you're not getting enough done on the mixtape side,
right.
It ain't, you know, but you know, eventually you work it out. And shouts out to DJ Monte, little bro, who came on the scene when stuff started really starting to pop off, helping, you know, having those bodies and those other creative minds to really, you know, extend the legacy, you know, which it was a blessing, you know, to be able to have the team. Right. And that's what helped to what your question, to be able to really navigate, because I had the team.
Yeah.
I had the team.
You know what's so crazy, man? I remember you was on the radio 1 year, and I could tell, I said, Jelly is really coming to his own, and he's becoming this synergy of energy that's becoming this force in Atlanta, right? And I remember on the radio, this girl was like, Jelly's killing it. And I said, yo, y'all were like running the city at that point. Mm-hmm. You know, people say what they want to say. Big Camp was running Atlanta for a minute, right? Absolutely. And it became this serious conglomerate, from Sammy Sam to Intoxicated to Baby D, Loco. Yeah. Man, you guys had it going on in the city, man. I remember I went to a concert at Club Excess, and I think the whole Camp was there, right? And Solo was hosting it, right? Shout out to Solo. Yeah. And y'all killed it, bro. I think that song, I'm from the ATL with Baby D. Man,
East side, west side.
East side, oh.
Yeah.
Dead West. Man, bruh.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You know, we were capturing a moment in time of the Atlanta scene at that moment. You know, just and really incorporating it into the music. Literally from the club, transferring into the music. You know, it was going back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
That
was a blessing.
Ooh.
Like, yeah.
Ooh.
That was something else.
And Oop Camp, to me, man, is a part of Atlanta history that needs to be talked about more.
Absolutely.
Right? And Sammy Sam was our DMX.
Right.
Come on.
He definitely shout out to Sam.
Shout out to Sam, man. Sam just had that energy, man.
Absolutely.
Get on stage, he tear it up, had a whole club going crazy. He going outside to fight.
Fighting everybody.
Yeah, he fighting everybody. You know what I mean?
Everybody.
Sam, shouts out to Sam. Sam and Sam is Bone Crusher's energy spirit. Just to be honest with you, Sam is a monster, man.
Absolutely. And you know, like I said, again, it was a blessing. And what a lot of people misunderstood about the camp, and for me to just say right quick, is that, you know, a lot of people like, man, well, they put me on, but then when they got their label, they blew up, they went on. But it was like, we couldn't do nothing with everybody. We wasn't gonna just say, you get on our team, and we don't do nothing with you. That was disrespectful. Right. So we understood. We had these few artists to deal with, and we concentrate on this so we can get right.
That makes sense.
We couldn't just everybody came. Pastor Troy, NDI Reed, T.I. We couldn't lie to them folks and be like, yeah, you come on, get down with us and just to be with us. We don't operate like that.
That's real. And that's a respect thing that you have for yourselves and for the culture. That's what I'm saying, man. Number 6, you are a very loyal, we just talked about this. You are a very loyal and ethical person, right? Explain to all the young artists out there how important it is to keep and communicate and cultivate relationships in this business.
Man, that's just it's not even in this business, it's just in life. People got to realize, you know, that, you know, I believe in this energy that we're all here for each other, whether it's good or bad.
Right.
But as yourself, you know, you have to make sure that you believe in what you do.
Right.
And be able to reciprocate that, you know, when you passing this energy back and forth with people. And they need to understand, just be honest with them. And I understand this business, you know, things get tricky. You might get over your head. You know, I get it.
Right.
You know, you might F up, do this and whatever. But, you know, just be yourself. Make sure that you understand your purpose and respect people. Because people come up, and especially in this big business, people come up and down all day. I've seen people, multimillionaires one day, and the next day out, I done seen them out in the streets, and the next day they way up. Right. And I just treat them the same. Not even thinking that, man, one day they're a person.
Right.
And I leave it at that.
You know, I always tell people, man, the The same people you see going up, and them same people you see coming down.
And you're going to hear this, and for all those artists out there, you're going to always hear that story. It's very real.
That's real.
It never changes. I don't care what generation, what age, until humans are gone from this, it's going to be the same way.
Relationships in this business and in life, to your point, is everything.
Yep.
If you're burning bridges, you're not going to last. I don't care what kind of business you in, what kind of relationship you have with family, friends, you burning bridges with them. Eventually, you're going to be out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this to every artist out here. Unless you got $1 billion sitting somewhere, you better keep those relationships strong. Right?
Yeah, you got it. You still, if you got that bill, you got to keep that bill. So you better be on point.
You better be on point with it, because you can be broke off that too. So number 7.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever think that you and the OOP camp would have been such an influence on the entire Atlanta sound? What would you like to do and see as you pass the baton once you decide that this is over, which most artists say it's never going to be over?
Yeah, I'm be like Frank Sinatra on this.
Right.
But man, just really, ones, I didn't really see us becoming this factor in that, other than just really saying we got to really hustle and let the world hear us.
Right.
You know, I didn't know what it would be, until one day I was sitting in Japan and I'm hearing all this music that you created, that we've created, and sitting back like, wow, all this work we've been doing.
Crazy.
Here we are. So it never knew that, but it's a blessing again.
Yeah.
And man, it's crazy. As far as passing the baton, I do that on a regular because I have a crew of young DJs.
Nice.
I'm always bringing up people, whether it was DJ Unk back in the days or Baby D back in the days. Like, I keep that process always going just till now. Shouts out to DJ Raw, Super Blue, younger DJs, and just, bringing them on up. Right. Because that's all you can do. Right. You can't keep your talent in this little cube and put it on your armpit and say, I'm good. Right. You got to keep pushing it. So you can come up and you can bring your legacy on. You spread it. And then you have them have their legacy. Right. Yeah.
Right. And that's key to this, right?
Yeah.
We as a people have to learn that we don't come from money. We come from riches and wealth and community, right? And those wealth is based upon our relationships and friendships amongst ourselves, right? Family is everything, right? So we have to make sure that we cultivate the next generation in order for them to be as good as us. And I tell people all the time, I say, man, it's just job security for you. If you are invested in people invest back into you. Those that don't, they never going to do anything for anybody anyway.
Right.
But mostly the people that you do invest in, those people will come back and be like, hey, man, you know what? When I was down and out, man, you helped me out, man, and you looked out for me, man. Now I'm on top, dog. Let me give you a job.
Absolutely.
Let me give you some money. Let me give you this opportunity.
Right.
And that's what it's about. Each one teach one so we can all rise like the sun.
Absolutely.
Right? So this next section of 7 is going to be personal to you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Both sections. First, name 7 songs that no one would know that's in your Rolodex, or be surprised to know that's in your Rolodex that DJ Jelly is listening to.
Oh, wow. Denise Williams Free.
Woo! That's my record.
I would say Fleetwood Mac Dreams.
Oh, yeah.
Isley Brothers Work to Do.
Okay.
Another Denise Williams song, Black Butterfly.
That's the beautiful record.
Let me see what else. Bohemian Rhapsody,
yeah.
Queen.
Okay. 2 more.
Let's see. What's it? Earth, Wind and Fire.
Okay.
Sun Goddess.
Yeah. Last one. I could never take a place of your man Prince. I'm a big Prince fan.
That's
period.
Big. Like, he's my number one. Period.
That's crazy because see, you and Shawty Red got the same love for Prince.
That's the number one.
Wow.
Period.
That's
Hands down.
Number one too.
I'm a fan of people's music,
right?
But for Prince, I'm a fan of his music and him.
Nice.
So that's me.
Nice. So next section of 7. We got 7 questions, right? You gotta answer these 7 questions in 7 seconds.
Okay.
You ready to go?
I think I am.
Let's get it. First question.
All right.
What's the first hit record that you ever heard?
Who's that lady?
Okay. Number 2, what did you want to be when you were 12 years old?
A fashion designer.
Wow. Number 3, what's an album you can play on repeat nonstop for 48 hours without skipping a track?
That would be the Chronic, the first Chronic.
Word. Number 4, name one thing you will never do again.
Do hard drugs.
Wow, that's a good one. Number 5, the party is coming to an end. What song guarantees that the lady leaves with you for a nightcap?
Jodeci, whatever you want. I forgot the name. My Heart Belongs to You.
Yeah. Number 6, how old were you when you learned Santa wasn't real?
10.
And then what happened?
And then I just played along with my mother for the next year or 2.
Why not? Hey, number 7, what's the best or worst practical joke that you've ever played on someone or that was played on you?
Oh, you got me with that one. Damn, I can't even think of that one. You got me on that one. Man, you got me on that one. Worst practical joke. That my equipment was stolen one time.
Whoa.
Even though it has been,
Right.
but I had a situation like the first time, and somebody had it tucked away somewhere.
Boy.
Woo. What?
I know you was like, man,
Shit and bricks.
I'm about to tear this whole place up.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was informative,
I like that.
educational, and inspiring, right? I'd like to thank my good friend and one of the best to ever do it for sitting down with me and enjoying great stories from one of the great ones from Atlanta. My good friend, ladies and gentlemen, DJ Jelly.
Oh, Crusher.
Hey, my brother.
Well, I am Story, one half of Crusher Consulting, sitting down with DJ Jelly.
Hello.
Such a pleasure having you here. I just want to know, what did you think about the interview, sitting down with Bone, someone who knows your lineage in the game and your history? And what did you think about the origin story, sitting down with him?
First of all, I was confident. Those my folks right there.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. I for some reason, I felt like we had a little fireplace going on right now. I just felt warm. It was a warm and welcoming interview. Like, that was one of the best interviewers that I've dealt with.
Wow.
Put it that way, seriously.
Wow, I was
He killed that one. The whole setup was right.
I love it. I was just going to say, like, you've done tons of these documentaries.
Absolutely.
You've been in the game. You've done a lot of interviews. Is there any part of your story, snippets of it from the past, that you haven't been able to tell?
I mean, of course, I can go on for days. I got to write a book anyway, but yeah. But it was enough to get people in the ballpark.
Yeah. And I like how you said passing the batons to the DJs. I want, I want people to know, like, that's what's so important about being in this business, passing a baton and pushing it forward. And what do you think people are going to get from watching your segment?
A sense of hope and that anybody can do it,
Yeah.
That's it. Just as simple as that.
And was there any part of the interview that stuck out the most to you? Like, I liked when the 7 questions part came and you were like, you got me.
The last 7 questions threw me off. That threw me off.
Yeah.
So I had to be on it. I felt like I was on a game show then.
Yeah. Because the interview is constantly changing.
Right.
And it kind of, you kind of think you're comfortable and it's like, wait, I got to do what? Like 7 songs, like pop quiz, That was tight. I love watching the interview from the sidelines and learning things, because I've been around you, but learning things that I never knew and about your history. And I think it's very important for people to get the true history and the story from your mouth, instead of someone else's perspective. So we really thank you for being one of the ATL greats. And thank you for being a part of this origin story, 7 questions and 7 seconds with DJ Jelly.
All right.
Yeah.